Standard with Joe.
So apparently Louisiana did something absolutely crazy, outrageous, inhumane. Louisiana last year decided to make a penalty for sex offenders who offend children 13 or under. And this law states that that person is deserving and is liable to be castrated. The horror. Reading through the different news articles on this one about this topic, there's many people saying, this is inhumane. This is wrong. Really? Wrong? To punish someone who RAPEs a child? That's exactly what they deserve. And I'm happy that a state is actually willing to stand up against predators instead of throwing them in jail for 2 years, which does not serve justice to the victim. That they're willing to also remove their ability to produce more victims. If someone's not able to control their sexual impulses and their creepy, nasty desires, then there should be something done to stop them from hurting more, traumatizing more, and permanently damaging so many of our young people. By Senator Barrow, Crime and Punishment provides for surgical castration of persons convicted of certain crimes when the victim is under the age of 13. Administration of surgical castration for certain sex offenders. Failure to comply with court order. A. Notwithstanding any other provision of law on the contrary, upon conviction of any sex offense as defined in R.S. 1554-1. According on or after August 1st, 2024, when the victim is under the age of 13 at the time of the offense, in addition to any other sentence imposed for the offenses, the court may sentence the offender to be surgically castrated, to be administered by the Department of Public Safety and Corrections by a licensed physician. The department shall provide the services necessary to perform the castration. Kudos to Louisiana. Thank you for doing this. I wish you did more. I wish there was more. I wish our country and our states would bring actual penalties for people who do actually horrible things. We see in this book says that if someone offends a little child, it'd be better if they're thrown into the ocean with a rock tied onto them than for them to offend a child. But in America, for the longest time, the worst thing that could happen is you go to jail. Sometimes for a long time, other times for a very short time. Does that really do justice to the child whose life has been ruined and whose mental state has been changed forever? Does that do justice to the family whose child was violated? Is it justice to just throw someone in jail for a year or two, or maybe 5 years, for abusing a child in the most worst way possible? I don't think so. I think there should be greater judgments for those things, so that people would actually get in their heads, hey, if I do something terrible like this, my life could seriously change. Instead of, oh, if I do something terrible like this, I'll go to jail for 5 years, I'll get out. We should make the incentive higher not to commit horrible crimes. And maybe those people that are committing the crimes or desire to commit the crimes will double think, and they'll have time to get help so that they may change before they commit such a terrible, heinous act. Number 3, if a defendant fails to appear as required by court order for purposes of procedure, or refusing to allow the procedure, then the defendant shall be charged with a violation of the provisions of this section. Upon conviction, the offender shall be imprisoned with or without hard labor for not less than 3 years, nor more than 5 years, without benefit of probation, parole, or suspension of a sentence. So in other words, if you refuse to get castrated, you could go to jail for 5 more years. It should be a lot longer than that. A lot longer than that. You permanently damage someone's soul, life, and mental state. As a child, there should be some type of more permanent penalty for you. But I am glad that the state of Louisiana has taken measures on this, although maybe not as extensive as I think would be fit, and I'm sure you think would be fit. I'm glad that they're doing something. What blows me away is seeing in the news articles people saying that this is horrendous and horrible, and it's human abuse. Human abuse to castrate an offender? It's more human abuse not to. Because that person abused someone who was innocent. This person is not innocent. Now they're guilty of some type of crime. And they're guilty and deserving of some type of punishment. That's not abuse. It's sad that it has to happen. It's not a good thing that it has to happen. But it has to happen. Because something evil has already taken place. And so now some type of penalty, some type of action is required to stop that evil from continuing. Kudos to Louisiana. And hopefully we see more laws like this passed throughout the United States. God bless you.